We're not sure if or when Jesus prophesied the destruction of the temple in Jerusalem. While it is mentioned in Luke's gospel 20 years after the event, the prophecy is first revealed in the Gospel of Mark, written about the time of the temple's destruction, along with the rest of Jerusalem, by Roman legions led by Titus Vespasianus, who later became emperor of Rome. This prophecy is one of the accusations raised against Jesus as cause for his crucifixion, alleging that he actually plotted its destruction. The destruction of the temple, which was the cultural center of Jewish worship, became embroiled in end-time expectations. By the time of its ruin in 70 CE, Christianity was swiftly becoming a movement dominated by Gentile converts who saw its demise as evidence that God no longer favored Jews as the chosen people, since they crucified Jesus, and that the followers of Jesus had become the new descendants of Abraham and Sarah. In other words, what emerged from the temple's destruction was not the dawning of a new era, but the degradation of a faith into an evil, satanic anti-Semitism that would tarnish our identity and behavior for centuries to come. Now, after Jesus was baptized, we are told that he was led by the Spirit to be tempted by Satan in the wilderness. Some biblical scholars interpret this event as one in which Jesus had to contend with the satanic urges in himself if he were to fully embody God's presence in the world. Each of us comprises a spiritual wilderness in which evil and angelic, saintly and satanic qualities intersect. And it is only by acknowledging that none of us is able to be the person we'd like to be before God that enables us to appreciate all of us as individuals in need of one another, if we are to move closer to the likeness and realm of God among us. The time in which the Jerusalem temple was destroyed represents the ongoing era in which all life is seen as juxtaposition between good and evil with no intervening gradations. You're either chosen or totally depraved. You're either Satan or saint. Yet against this backdrop has continually emerged the need to see humanity as a species internally conflicted between the opposing powers of good and evil, competing for sovereignty of our mortal soul. As a Christian, I've come to interpret popular fantasy through this theological lens. So as the evil Maleficent of Sleeping Beauty grew kind in her association with Aurora, as the Beast became beautiful in the company of Belle, and as Darth Vader was restored to his former self in reunion with his son Luke Skywalker, quite possibly the Satan in each of us may diminish in the company of angels within and among us. Not long ago, I led a group of confirmands and their parents to a meeting with Muslim youth and their parents at a mosque. We were welcomed with a potluck feast and conversation that lowered our defenses and heightened the sense of fellowship and community we felt among each other. At the close of this time together, a member extended his hand to me and said, "We welcome you. We are all children of Abraham and Sarah. And so we welcome you as our brothers and sisters and family." The destruction of the Jerusalem temple inflicted a gaping and lingering wound between Christians and Jews. May the temples we attempt to build in God's name never again serve as barricades separating us from one another or God. Amen.